Welcome to Innovators, a series where we sit down with thought leaders in the healthcare technology space to talk about the news and trends that are impacting the industry today. My name is Justine Chincola. I'm on the corporate communications team at Inovalon, and joining me today is Carolyn Rooney, who leads our talent management and development function at Inovalon, and one of my closest colleagues. Carolyn, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Justine, for having me.
So today we're going to talk about employee engagement. The term employee engagement is used pretty broadly across corporate America, but when you think about employee engagement, what are the top areas that come to mind that businesses like ours should be focusing on?
Employee engagement is a critical factor for our business success. It influences our productivity, our retention, and our overall company culture. Our employees are our most important asset, so it's our responsibility to create the environment where they can thrive. The factors that contribute to that are things like meaningful work. So, how do we align an individual's skills and overall purpose to how they contribute to the organization? How do we give the opportunity for each person to leverage their unique skill set to help the organization succeed and create an opportunity for them to be part of that? Creating clear pathways, so giving employees the opportunity to see a career path. Employees are invested in a company if they feel the company is invested in them. Demonstrating opportunities and giving them opportunities to do that is really important. With that is, learning opportunities. Like I said, the clear career paths, supporting skill and development, and then just regular coaching and feedback. And then the last thing that I would note, which is really important, is open, transparent, and inclusive culture. So what does that mean? Providing ample channels to understand what is most important to employees and how do we as an organization learn and develop based on that feedback from our employees.
I think the piece that I kind of want to hone in on there is those feedback channels. Tell us a little bit about what a feedback channel looks like. How does that work?
A feedback channel can mean many things, but basically, it's an opportunity to facilitate open, two-way communication, allowing employees to voice their opinions, concerns, and suggestions. It's transparency, and this transparency helps us to build trust and show that our organization values their input. Some examples of that are a robust engagement strategy, regular town hall meetings, whether across the company, by business unit, by department, regular one-on-ones with your manager and your skip level, suggestion boxes, having an open door policy, just ample ways for us to create different opportunities for people to share their voice and their transparent feedback. When employees have platforms to provide feedback, they feel empowered and they're more invested in the organization's success. This sense of ownership can significantly enhance our engagement overall as a company, but also the motivation for the individual. And effective communication channels can help us identify problems early, allowing us to address them before they escalate. And this proactive approach can really prevent disengagement, dissatisfaction, and turnover.
So you had also talked a little bit about career development, and we know that this is critical to the success of any organization. But what would you say that a strong career development program looks like, and how does that tie back to that overarching theme of employee engagement?
So there's a book, and the title of that book is "Let Them Grow or Watch Them Go." So if we don't give opportunities for people to grow and develop their career, then they're going to find it elsewhere. So it's critically important for us as an organization to create clear pathways and opportunities for people to grow and develop themselves, which contributes to our retention and our engagement. Strong career development program is multifaceted. So there's many different ways in which we can foster that with our employees. So providing clear pathways for growth, as I mentioned, continuous ways to learn. Gone are the days that you start a job and then you just climb the ladder until you retire, right? The world is changing so fast, and the skills that we need to keep up to date are still evolving. So creating opportunities for us to learn and develop in many different ways and develop skills over time is really important. Employees are more engaged when they see a future within the company and when they're growing, right? Knowing what those opportunities are for advancement, understanding how to get there, and feeling like you're supported to get there is really important. From a company perspective, it's our responsibility to create the conditions for employees to leverage that. So career paths, understanding what that looks like, understanding how you can apply your skills across the organization, clear expectations of a job, understanding the roles, understanding the responsibilities, and how to get there. And then with that, it's providing the robust learning opportunities, the training, the skills development. So there is a myth that I think people think that I can go to a training and I learn a skill. I'm just going to check that box and move on. But what's really important is being giving people the opportunity to implement what they learned and further develop those skills. So beyond training, it's creating the opportunities to learn through others, through mentoring, through coaching, um, through employee network groups, and most importantly, how do we apply that through stretch assignments um, or project based assignments, things that will allow them to apply that skill and further develop themselves. And then on the employee side, what's really important is empowering employees to drive their own career. So giving them time and space to think about, what do you want to be when you grow up? I ask that question to many people, even if they're later on in their career, because sometimes you just don't know, right? Like, what is the next thing for you? So building that individual development plan, having the opportunity to have ongoing coaching and feedback with your mentor, with your manager, and giving the support to build those skills, whether it be through training or skill development.
I'm someone who's been here for quite a few years now. I know over the years we have seen a lot of these practice implemented, and a lot of them are going really well. But tell me, what do you think has worked the best for our organization that might help others who are looking to boost their engagement efforts?
If I was to pick the first thing that was most important, it's a really strong engagement survey program. Because back to what I said earlier about transparent and open feedback channels, that is the source of how we get feedback from our most important customers, our employees. And so creating a really strong engagement survey program is the start of it. And that's something that we were able to do really successfully here at Inovalon. So about 4 years ago, we implemented something called the Pulse, which is our biannual engagement strategy. And it allowed us to understand what is most important to employees so that we can enhance the employee experience. So we implemented the Pulse twice a year, surveyed folks, and what was really important was we asked, we listened, we told them what we heard, and then we acted on it very quickly. And then we continuously tied back all of the actions that we implemented back to their feedback. This did a couple of things for us. One, it gave us opportunity to gain some trust with our employees. The fact that we were listening and acting on their feedback by implementing things that made meaningful movement in the employee experience was huge. And as a result, not only did we increase our response rate of the survey to 92%, which is unheard of, honestly, in the industry, increased our scores, our positivity scores over that course of time, but most importantly, had made significant improvements in the employee experience. And it showed in the results, but also the feedback that we received. Over time, we've matured as we've matured in that process. We've also opened up the feedback to benchmarking externally to some of the greatest places to work. Right, so we were very excited that we achieved the Great Place to Work certification, and with that, not only did it allow us to brand ourselves externally, but learn from the best of the best. And it gave us another source of feedback to benchmark ourselves against some of the greatest companies in the world to understand, where do we do well and how can we do better. A strong engagement program doesn't end. It's ever evolving based on the needs of our business and the basis of our needs of our employees. So we will continue to focus on this. We will continuously ask our employees what's important to them. We will continuously listen to them, respond to their needs, respond to their requests, and put in meaningful actions to enhance the employee experience at Inovalon.
Carolyn, as you know, communications plays a huge role in everything that we've talked about today. And employee engagement has always been something that is so important to me on the communication side. And it has been really cool to see everything that we've done over the past few years and, talking about action planning and all of these other initiatives that we're really ramping up this year. I know that there's only much more to come for Inovalon. So thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. To those of you who dialed in today, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for our next Innovator session.